Alright guys, welcome to another cast by me, Severity KaBoom. And this one is going to be a PvZ that I played. It was actually my first ladder match in Season 3. So this one's the one that decides it all. Whether I go to Masters League or Bronze League. Not really, but yeah, it's going to be a PvZ between me over here in the bottom left and Jordan in the bottom right. And this is going to be on one of Blizzard's new maps. And if you watched my first cast, I was talking about that map where your Protoss can't wall off. Well, it's this map. I don't know, maybe you can in this position, but I know up here, see, it's got this weird like wall sort of right here. You can't wall off, and it's really annoying if you get that spawn, but maybe you can right here. I don't know. I just assumed that you couldn't, so I'm going to be building my wall down here, which is a little bit more risky, but I actually will be able to wall off. So yeah, this is going to be between me and Jordan, and this was my first match in Season 3, and it was really in the morning, early in the morning. I was kind of tired. But yeah, this can be, PvZ is not my best matchup. I don't know why I have so much difficulty with it. I mean, sometimes I'll play it and I'll do really, really well, and sometimes I'll play it and I'll do really, really bad. So yeah, you guys will be able to see me, some decisions that I make that are not so good. But yeah, starting off, he is going to be going for a pool first, which is a wise decision. I mean, on 13, did he see this pylon? Let's see. No, yes, he did see the pylon, so he knows that there could very well be a forge there that could cannon him off if he tried to expand first. So he's going to be going 13 pool, probably 15 or 16 hatch, which is very standard. He's getting his gas for that Zergling speed. Pretty much a very standard play. As for me, I am not. I want to wall off as fast as I possibly can, so I'm getting 2 gateways right now. I probably should have used these for a rush, maybe to apply a little bit of pressure, and then got my cybernetics core to finish it up. But I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to be getting my gas. Pretty much standard play as soon as, except for that extra gateway, because I want to be walled off. And not have Zerglings running into my main, because that's never fun. So he hasn't gotten his expansion yet on 16, so he might be trying to tech up a little bit before he gets that, and he's just getting his queen now. And the Zergling is going to try to block my expansion, but I'm not really planning on expanding right now, which is really weird. I mean, I messed around with this map a little bit before Season 3 actually started, and I did spawn up here, and I noticed you couldn't wall off. But it looks like you can actually wall off here, which is kind of surprising, but I didn't know that. So I just assumed I should wall off down here, which is why he thinks I'm going for a fast expand, and I think I'm just going for a 3-gate expand. I should be getting my 3rd gate over here sometime soon. He is getting a spine crawler in his main, which I don't really agree with. Okay, good, he cancels it. Yeah, you really shouldn't get spine. I mean, spine crawlers are important, usually at your natural expansion. After the game has progressed a little bit, I mean, getting one in your mineral line that early isn't really necessary. I've seen some Zerg players in the lower leagues get them really fast up in their main and then move them down to their natural. It's not really necessary. I mean, you're going to need them at some point, most likely, but you can get them a little bit later rather than sooner. So he's going to be coming over here harassing my wall off, which is really annoying, but I do have 2 stalkers around the way, and he's almost going to kill his zealot. That was bad by me, but because 3 Zerglings can kill 1 zealot if they get a surround, which he obviously had. And he did steal my gas over here, which is really annoying, and I will have to deal with that. It's like the second dirtiest thing you could do to a Protoss player when you're playing Zerg, the first being killing their cybernetics core. If you kill their cybernetics core, they can't make stalkers for the whole, like, 60 seconds. Let's see. Yeah, or 50 seconds. The whole 50 seconds that it's gone, you can't make any stalkers, which is absolutely huge in this game. 50 seconds is just so long to be going without making stalkers at all. But I am going to be taking out this gas, and I am going to be taking my expansion. It is pretty well timed for a 3-gate expand. You should be seeing your expansion at around the 6-minute 550 mark, usually a bit later rather than sooner, just so you have time to get your economy up and going and get those 3 gateways out. Even though it was a little bit weirdly done, it still worked out pretty well, which was good for me. So he does have his expansion up, and one thing he should be doing when you see a Protoss fast expand, I'm watching this replay, I'm not sure he was entirely sold on me fast expanding, but one thing you should do when you see a Protoss fast expanding, is take an early third right there. Not there. There's rocks. Right here. On this map, definitely not there. But take your third really fast as a Zerg player, and you'll just be so far ahead. Because a 2-base Protoss versus a 2-base Zerg is pretty much always in favor of the Protoss. The Zerg really need that economic advantage to do what they want, to make a billion lings at the same time with larvae and a million infestors, and just have this army of a billion lings and a million infestors going up against, what, 5 stalkers and 2 zealots. No, I'm just kidding, but yeah, you can get, if you get that early third when the Protoss fast expands, it's really good. You can get a lot of units out. But he is producing a lot of drones. He's at, actually not that many, I guess. He's at 34 right now, and I'm at 30. So not as far ahead as he could be. But he's getting roaches, which are really good against Protoss units. Stalker is generally the go-to unit when you see roaches, mostly because it's the cheapest one that's actually somewhat effective at killing them. You'll notice it does do 14 damage to armored. But the roaches are so cheap and so easy to get and do so much damage that you just need a ton of stalkers. You'll need a lot of well-placed force fields. If you notice, I only have 1 sentry, which is not good for PvZ. You really need to start out with maybe 1 zealot and a ton of sentries. But that was probably due to my strange opening. I got the 2 gates before I got my cybernetics core. But yeah, those roaches will be really hard to deal with without a lot of force fields and without a lot of stalkers, so I really need to get on that. And I am making my cybernetics core, or not my cybernetics core, my robotics facility, which is almost the same thing, except these make immortals and not stalkers. And I will be getting this observer, which is... Observers are really the only way Protoss has to effectively scout. I mean, they're one of the best forms of scouting. They're invisible and they fly. A lot better than changelings, but they're also really easy to kill if you have like one overseer, like maybe here, or maybe just wherever you think you see one. Just an overseer will pretty much end that observer's life really fast, and you won't be able to get any good scouting information as a Protoss. So you always want to make sure to have 1 or 2 observers scouting, at least 1 scouting and 1 with your army at the same time, and always be ready to make another one because they do die really fast if they have detection. So he's starting to get his roaches. He's 20 supply ahead of me, but that's all in economy right now. He's got 20 more workers than I do, so he is really pumping the drones right now. He really should be taking his third. I mean, when you're Zerg and you're floating this many minerals, there's really no reason for you not to take a third. I mean, there's really nothing else you can do with that. You can't produce fast enough to make anything, or you can't produce fast enough to deplete that mineral supply. So I would really like to see a third from him and maybe a macro hatch, probably like right here, just to, see, there goes my observer, just to be able to spend those resources a little bit faster. Now he is sort of spending them at like 300 at a time, but he could be spending a lot more efficiently. So he is just focusing on roaches right now. He is getting the infestation pit with the pathogen glands, and that should be pretty. Zerg players, they have it timed really well, so they'll make like 5 infestors all at once, and they'll get done like a half a second after pathogen glands finish. So there goes the 5, and yeah, those will probably be done right after this finishes. But I am getting Colossus. Oh, I already had my Colossus, and I'm busting down this wall, so I have a really fast attack path. So if I would have attacked like right now before his infestors finished, I would have done a lot of damage. But I didn't really know what was in there since my observer died. Notice he only has 16 roaches. That is not going to deal well with this, but I am going to let him get the infestors out, which is a timing I should have pressed. And why are blizzard maps so bad? Yeah, we all have problems with blizzard maps. They really shouldn't have close positions. I don't understand why. I don't enjoy them as a Protoss player. I know Zerg players don't enjoy them. I just don't really understand why. I mean, I guess they want to have the rush, but... So he is fungal growthing. I did miss this timing really harshly, and he did fungal growth my entire army. All my stalkers are, pretty much half my stalkers are half dead. My Colossus is gone. I'm going to get some good force, not perfect force fields, because he is still able to run away. Kill a few roaches, but he's 30 supply ahead of me right now. He can make whatever he wants to. 14 roaches. Yeah, 14 roaches could probably take this army without infestors, but he's got think 5. He's got 4 infestors, so I don't know what I'm thinking right now. One thing I should have done is I should have fallen back after that terrible engagement, got up my Colossus count. I did put down a, I thought I put down a Twilight Council. Maybe I didn't. I got my second Robotic Spade to maybe get some more Colossus. See, right there, that was an alright engagement. I didn't really kill anything, but he didn't really kill anything. But now the infestors are here. And every time they fungal growth, they kill at least like 3 units. Like they got 3 stalkers there. Fungal growth on this would mean all my stalkers would be dead. My Colossus would be dead. Fungal growth is just so good. And so are roaches. And neural parasites coming, but I don't know if he'll be able to get that in time. I should probably fall back right now and try to get this Colossus count up. Remember Robotic Spade, get producing out of both of them, wait for my attack up and armor upgrades to finish. Maybe get a Twilight Council and follow up with High Templar or something. Just, I don't know. I do like DTs a lot in the Zerg versus Protoss matchup. They're really good at harassing. I could send a couple up here, and that expansion would be effectively locked down. I could send a couple into his main, or not his main, or he's got an Overseer right there, but I could make like Warp Prism, bring it around. I don't know. I could do something with them. They're really good in your army too, just up front. If the Zerg player doesn't see them, they can do so much damage. And there he goes. I'm burrowing on top of all my roaches. See, 1 fungal growth there. All these stalkers are going to die. He's focusing down the Colossus, which is probably the, I don't know, I only had 2. And then Colossus aren't really effective against roaches as they are against Zerglings and Hydralisks. The Zerglings, or the roaches, are just so armored. They start out with 1 armor. They have 145 life. They're just such tanks, and you can have so many of them that the Colossus aren't really the best choice to deal with them. So yeah, that's going to be it for that game. It was well played by him, not so much by me. One thing I would have liked to seen from myself is maybe wait for my Colossus count to get up a little bit higher, since that was the tech path I chose. Also, fall back after that first engagement. See, I got my Twilight Council. Maybe got Blink, some Dark Templar, or some High Templar. Take an expansion. I knew he had this third by this point. And maybe got some Immortals to help deal with these roaches. Immortals aren't the best. If you can't really produce them fast enough, but I did have the double robotics facility, so maybe I could have done something with that. Overall, well played by him. He had a lot of harvesters, which is really where you want to be at with Zerg. A lot of production. Would have liked to seen a macro hatch, maybe just to help that production, help keep his minerals down a little bit. Just spam some Zerglings or something. Every little bit helps, but he did play very well. And so yeah, that's going to be it. Thanks for tuning in, guys.